This is Nick Chubb. When that injury happened, from a visual, you were in the building, and I know what your experience was like on the broadcast because you had access to something that we did not have on television, which was the replay. So from my vantage point, it reminded me of a day in 1985. My brother was a Redskins fan, and Joe Theismann's leg happened. And my little brother was 6 at the time, and he started crying, bawling, because that was his favorite player, and they were his favorite team, and he wrote him a letter. He said, get well. And 6 months later, Joe Theismann wrote him a letter and said, thank you. It meant a lot, and it hung on his wall until he graduated high school.
It's awesome.
And I look over last night, and that happens to Nick, and the boys are broken. And I'm broken. You were broken on the broadcast. Chris was. A Browns Nation was broken. Because Nick Chubb, through 6 years of starts and stops and inconsistencies, Nick Chubb was the warm blanket. He was the constant. He was there every time.
Constant excellence, historical start to his career was there for you. Missed, I think, a couple of games that 1 year we got hurt down in Dallas. And other than that, he was there. 1,000+ yards, 5+ yards a carry. He'd get in the end zone. He'd pick up the tough yards. He'd be the best running back in the league. He was the only person who's ever averaged more than 5 yards a carry in each of their first 5 seasons, and he was well on his way to doing it again this year. And so when we watched it initially, our TVs were not really synced up very well in the booth as that you would like, where it was like kind of one was either right on as it happened. It was basically live.
Yeah.
So you couldn't actually go back and watch, and then one was like 3 plays behind. But I initially saw the way that he went down, and I thought maybe it was his shoulder because he kind of went down so violently on the top. And I thought maybe collarbone. That was what I was initially fearful of. And we were talking about that, or maybe it's his head. And then they showed the replay in the booth, and I think I just said, oh, my God.